Good evening guys from Glasgow, a fantastic and vibrant city. One of my favourite cities, and I tell you what, there is so much to do here, and don't forget, it's cheaper than Edinburgh. And why am I here? Well, I am taking a coach all the way down to London tonight. It's the overnight National Express service. Now, I've done this journey a couple of times before the other way, but I've never done it north to south. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it's like. In particular, how we get into London in the morning, whether it's going to be busy or not. Why don't you come with me? We're going to head over to Buchanan Bus Station, and I'll see you when we get on the coach. Yeah, Glasgow Queen Street railway station behind me there. The Buchanan Bus Station is about 5 minutes walk north from here and 10 minutes walk north from Glasgow Central. Now then guys, before we get over to the bus station itself, please allow me to tell you about Readly, the digital subscription service that offers unlimited or you can read access to over 7,500 magazines and newspapers, and it covers pretty much every topic you can possibly imagine, and it's all available in one single user-friendly app. Now Readly are currently offering a 2-month free trial to anybody who clicks on my link in the description below or the pinned comment to this video. You can cancel anytime you like, so what have you got to lose? But let me tell you a little bit more about the app and some of the reasons why I think, in my opinion, it is an absolute game changer. Now, I don't know about you, but I love to read when I'm on a journey. It helps me to relax and it broadens the mind, and of course it passes the time, especially on a long journey like the one I'm going to be taking tonight. But you know what, it's like when I'm travelling with a bag, especially something like this, it's just you know, if I took loads of magazines, I would just never fit them all in. So yeah, Readly is absolutely fantastic for this kind of journey. Now, I'm sure like me, you've probably nipped down to your local newsagents and you're looking for your favourite magazine and you can't find it, or you do find it but then it's last month's copy, and it's just like, well, what am I going to do with that? Now, with Readly, of course, all the current issues are available at your fingertips, and they also give you the back issues too. And all you have to do is download the app and complete the simple registration process and select the categories that you're into and start browsing. It really is as simple as that. And don't worry about mobile signal or Wi-Fi, all content is available offline, so yeah, you can browse whenever you want and wherever you want to. And did you know that Readly is the UK's largest newsstand? And it's paper free, of course, isn't it? So there's no damage to the environment either. And something else, right, I was browsing through one of my favourite magazines the other day, Ships Monthly, and there was like an article with Condor Ferries on their new ship, and you know, I was looking at going over there and doing another ferry journey, and that really helped me to decide whether I wanted to do it or not. And the thing is with Readly, when you're into a certain sort of topic or subject, then it will think about that, recognise it, and it will suggest other magazines for you to read, like Coast, for example. And yeah, Coast is fantastic because it gives you ideas on places to go rather than how you actually get there. And the other thing is, right, you can explore Readly as much as you like. So you know, maybe you may want to discover something that you're not really interested, but you know, certain magazines will give you access to that, like Uncut, for example. Now, having a look at Uncut, you may discover some new music. You may find out that a band's playing in your local area, and so you can go and see that. The possibilities are limitless. And remember guys, that Readly gives you access to all your favourite newspapers, so you can keep up to date with current affairs too. You really are spoilt for choice. So don't forget guys, Readly are offering a 2-month free trial to anyone who clicks on my link in the description below or the pinned comment attached to this video. You really don't want to miss out on this one, and remember, you can cancel anytime you like. Right guys, so I've got my reading material on my tablet in here. I'm ready to go down to the bus station. What are we waiting for? Let's go. So I made my way to Buchanan Bus Station, which took a little bit longer than usual as I had to self-divert to a pub to keep me going. Now by this time the light was fading a little, but yeah, here I was heading for the entrance, and just before going in I spent a minute or two outside reminiscing about past adventures. Oh, I'll tell you what, the last time I was sat here, it was probably a couple of years ago now. I just had the worst journey of my life coming up here from London. Oh, by the way, guys, just apologies. I have got a bit of a cold at the moment, so if my voice sounds a little bit, then that's because of that. We'll press on regardless. The things I do, eh? Opened in 1977, this is the biggest bus station in Scotland. Upon entering, there are large departure boards straight in front of you, and our service, the 587 to London, was displayed amongst several other coaches heading for the same city tonight. And security was present, and mainly keeping an eye on the toilets, which were 30p to use, unless you just opened the barrier on the right towards you. There were 57 stances in total, a travel centre, secure luggage lockers, ATMs and shops. Well, yeah, everything you can see on this clip here, really. Okay, so yeah, inside Buchanan Bus Station, and stance 56 is the one we want for the 587 service down to London, due to depart at 22:45. So let's go and find the stance, and I'll see you over there. Right, so stance 56, and yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but it actually goes into London Victoria via Golders Green. So you know what, I've got an early train back to the Midlands in the morning, so depending on how the coach is going, if it's late, that could be an option. I might actually be better off just disembarking there rather than going through the traffic to Victoria. We'll see how it goes anyway. Our coach arrived on stand about half an hour early, BF21 CZW, a 2021 Scania K410 EB6 Kitano Levant 3, operated by Bruce Coaches of Scotland Limited. And the driver checked all tickets and we were on. And looking at the list of passengers he was crossing off, I reckoned we were going to be pretty full tonight. And here's a tip for you: if your seat has one of these reserved labels on it but the one next to you doesn't, you pop it on that adjacent seat and yeah, hopefully everyone will just walk on by. I don't condone that kind of behaviour, by the way, just saying it could be an option. Now, as you saw there, I was in my favourite seat 2A for this journey, which I would thoroughly recommend for the extra legroom afforded by the absence of a seat in front of you. We reversed off stance on time at 22:45 and were quickly out of the bus station and Glasgow itself. The National Express pre-recorded safety and information message was played, and that was that. Next stop, Hamilton. Oh, actually, I did try out the Wi-Fi pretty early on. Yeah, it was going to be a long night and I thought I might forget about it later. It connected okay, but it generally was pretty poor, to be honest. The YouTube videos wouldn't run, and X, formerly known as Twitter, really struggled with any kind of media. It was okay for essentials, I reckon, but yeah, don't expect streaming, and I gave up after 5 minutes, although I think I lost the connection anyway. I would recommend just using your normal Ford 5G connection. And we turned off the M74 onto the A723 towards Hamilton. An odd stop this, I thought, so early on, but yeah, there must be a demand for it, and sure enough, 5 people were waiting for us, a family and a wheelchair user. A bit of confusion over seats, but again I managed to escape having a neighbour, and I would be safe now all the way down as far as Milton Keynes. The wheelchair got put in the hold, so yeah, everybody else made their way to the back, and you know what? There is a God. So back onto the M74, I was pretty happy, and by this point there were less than 8 hours to go according to the schedule. And I did a bit of reading, and I watched a few YouTube videos. Nearly time to relax, but first, a quick check of the toilet. Now, making my way towards the rear of the coach, I could see how busy it was and not many spare seats, and also it was pretty warm down here as well. And this is why I always say book a seat, 2A if you can. It is absolutely 100% worth it. And the toilet, yeah, it was absolutely fine. Everything worked as it should, and it was clean and tidy. Now, I noticed a small child seat on the toilet as well, which was, yeah, a thoughtful touch. Well done, National Express. Not 1, but 2 thumbs up from me. Right, not much to see now as we head towards the border with England, but yeah, almost total darkness, isn't it? We'll save the seat review until the morning, because for now, for me, it was time to try and get some sleep. Well, I'm a very light sleeper anyway, so yeah, these kind of journeys I do find difficult, even though I obviously had the best seat on the coach. I was still awake as we pulled into a service station at 1:15 in the morning. Not a scheduled stop this, the driver just needed a wee. We were going to have to wait until our planned break and driver changeover at Knutsford services in an hour and a half's time. About 4 hours in at 2:45 in the morning, and we are at Knutsford service station just off the M6. Yeah, not a bad ride. I tell you what, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? The ride down from Glasgow, no hold-ups at all, but you know, it's Sunday morning effectively, isn't it? So hopefully that will continue as we make our way south towards London. Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's reasonably comfy. I haven't had any sleep, but I wasn't expecting to get any anyway. But yeah, not too bad. The coach is quite nice. Seats are not the most comfortable, but maybe that's just because of the nature of the trip. Anyway, got about another 20 minutes here, and I'm going to grab a coffee, I think, and then head back on the coach. So I'll see you in a little while. Well, we hung around outside like zombies for a bit before our new driver took control, and at 03:28 we were reversing out of the bay. I resisted the urge to get a coffee in the end and settled for an Eat Natural protein bar instead. You might have caught a glimpse there of the Flixbus coach that had pulled in alongside us, a pretty much brand spanking new Yutong GT12. And guess what? Here is John and Patricia with the Flixbus XN10 Express service down to London. Now, I had a great trip with these guys last year, and check out the video here if you haven't already seen it. They're a great couple who absolutely love their job and definitely recommended. And after leaving the Knutsford city limits, it always reminds me of a Tina Turner song when I come here. Our one and only stop before London would now be Milton Keynes. But before that, we had to negotiate some serious roadworks that forced us off the motorway at Junction 6, the Gravelly Hill Spaghetti Birmingham Interchange Junction. Closed overnight, I suspect, for some vital repairs, and yeah, it did take up a bit of our time negotiating some of the Birmingham city streets. I did wonder whether it would have been worth considering the M6 toll as an alternative, but then again, it costs money, doesn't it? And yeah, I would imagine that there is some flexibility in the timetable for congestion and roadworks. Well, at least we got to drive past the iconic Fort Dunlop, and it looks great this close up, doesn't it? Completed in the 1920s to store tyres, it is, not surprisingly, a Grade A listed building. And the driver had a couple of goes at finding the right exit off a roundabout, and then we were back on the M6. But we were now expected into Milton Keynes 18 minutes later than planned. Now the sun rose behind some industrial units around Bedworth, and the guy behind me started snoring loudly. A truly idyllic moment. And we passed the M69 turn-off. No, hang on, we should have passed the M69 turn-off, but inexplicably we left the motorway again. But it was quickly rectified as we rejoined it at the very same junction. A brief but entertaining excursion off-piste, I thought. It was going to be a lovely morning, though I couldn't really figure out whether I was tired or not. I mean, I felt tired, but was wide awake. Maybe it was the sun coming up affecting my body clock or something. If you know, please drop me a comment below. Anyway, onto the M1 now and Northamptonshire, which gave us wind farms and roadworks. Onwards. Okay, so now it's a little bit lighter, time to have a look at the interior, starting with the seat back and its flip down table here. You have to fight over this if you have a neighbour, but here the trade-off is the extra legroom in 2A, isn't it? I mean, you can't complain about this, can you? Absolutely superb. And the seat itself, well, I thought it was a bit firm. I was certainly feeling it a bit at this point, but maybe that's just related to the journey rather than anything else. A retractable armrest, and please note USB power is between the seats here in 2A and 2B, not on the seat backs. You have got limited recline, about 4 or 5 inches I would say. And above your head are individual reading lights and air vents, and there is shallow but plentiful small bag storage along both sides of the coach. So no hanging about now, we turned off the M1 at junction 14, headed for Milton Keynes. But instead of going into the centre, we stopped at Milton Keynes Coachway, which I'd never been to before, but I thought it was really handy. And we arrived there only 5 minutes late by this stage at 5:45. Our driver was certainly on a mission now. 4 people got off and he literally got their luggage out as quickly as he could, back on the coach, and we were reversing off stand, 2 minutes maximum. No one joined us. According to the schedule, it's 1 hour and 35 minutes from here to London Victoria coach station, so I needed to decide whether to stay on the coach all the way or get off at the penultimate stop, Golders Green coach station, 35 minutes earlier. But it doesn't make any difference to the price, and yeah, I'll tell you how much I paid for this trip towards the end of the video. But yeah, plenty of time to figure out what I was going to do, as I enjoyed our last moments on the M1 together and the approach into North London itself. Well, we left the M1 at junction 2, which felt like a bit of an anticlimax in a way, in so much as we nearly went all the way but didn't quite make it to the end. Anyway, the coach driver knew what he was doing and headed south down the Great North Way, which was obviously the quickest way to Golders Green. It's dual carriageway anyway, which helps, and at this time on a Sunday morning it was comparatively traffic free. Now turning onto the Finchley Road, and I must say there were some really nice looking properties around here, if you can afford them of course. And talking about money, well, the price I paid for this trip from Glasgow to London today was £20.90, and that included an extra £3 that I paid to reserve my seat. And don't forget, if you're registered with National Express, no booking fee is applicable. You cannot beat this for value, and the train, or even the plane actually, will be more expensive city centre to city centre, but of course it will be a lot quicker. So yeah, what would you choose on this trip? As always, please let me know in the comments below. And still on the Finchley Road, we passed the fantastic looking St Edward the Confessor Roman Catholic Church here on the left, before reaching the junction with the A502, which marks the end of my journey today. Yes, I had decided to get off the coach at Golders Green because, as you will see in a minute, the London Underground station located on the Northern Line is right here on your doorstep, and from here it's a 13-minute train ride down to Euston. And now I know this, I think it's much easier than walking to the nearest tube station from Victoria coach station, but again, what would you do? Let me know in the usual way. We arrived a few minutes early in the end, and after disembarking I glanced back at our coach, basking in the early morning sun, before making my way over to Golders Green Underground Station, which, like I said before, is right on the Northern Line for easy and quick access into the centre of the capital. And just before I conclude, I just want to take a minute to thank my Ko-fi and YouTube members. Your continued support really helps, so thank you so much. And if you want to join up, guys, or even just buy me a coffee, believe me, I need one sometimes, the QR code is right here, or you can click on the link in the description to this video. And don't forget, guys, you can actually subscribe to the channel for free. It costs you absolutely nothing, but yeah, again, it really helps me out. Well, I just about had enough energy left to make it up the stairs. Yeah, after doing so, I found a quiet spot on the southbound platform where I just took a minute to sum up the journey. Right guys, Golders Green Underground Station, London, which is literally a stone's throw from the bus and coach station, which is just over there. And what do you think of that? Let me know in the comments below. And I thought it was yeah, fairly solid performance really from National Express. We got here on time. It was reasonably comfortable. Seats were a little bit hard actually, if anything, but you know, I was struggling a bit towards the end. But I do have a cold at the moment as well. But roads were fairly quiet, weren't they? Which is probably what you would expect for a service which is predominantly through the night on Sunday morning, isn't it really? So yeah, all in all, pretty good, and yeah, you can't really complain about the price, can you? And don't forget, guys, that really are offering you a 2-month free trial of their service if you click on my link in the description below or the pinned comment attached to this video, and of course you can cancel anytime you like. Right, so I'm waiting for this train now, which will take me into Euston, and I've got a train back to the West Midlands. Thank you very much for watching. I shall catch you on another adventure soon, I'm sure, and as always, guys, cheers for now.